Every month, Sinpai blesses us with a donation deck list. This time, he'd like to see Geralf played for a round 2 and include some grave crawlers for an infinite mana, infinite zombie combo. All right, welcome back, vintage gamers, to a Wednesday night Sinpai donation deck list. This is probably going to be the second to last video before Modern Horizons 3 hits the platform. This is a little bit more zombie-centric version of Geralf Tinker. Now, I know we definitely played with Geralf in testing in Tinker Leagues in the beginning, but this one focuses a little bit harder on its interaction with zombies and its interaction with Cabal therapy. So, if you don't remember Geralf of the questionable name, it is a 2/3 human legendary warlock. Whenever you cast a spell during your turn, other than the first spell of the turn, create a 2/2 blue-black zombie rogue creature. Whenever a zombie enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on it for each other zombie that entered the battlefield under your control this turn. So, it is a card that wants you to play a bunch of spells. It is a card that wants you to sometimes maybe have additional zombies. And so what we're doing today is we are going to use Cabal Therapy, where this triggers Geralf and makes a zombie, which you can then sack and then cast your other part of Cabal Therapy, making a zombie, and hopefully picking apart your opponent's hand in a way that makes it so you can win an attack for lethal. Also going to play some Deadly Disputes as a way to sacrifice some zombies and create some draw cards and treasure tokens. And then we're also going to play some Grave Crawlers to go with our Cabal Therapies and our Deadly Disputes and our zombie-making human warlock here. Small synergy where zombies that enter the battlefield will have 1/1 counters on them for Gravecrawler. And we're going to play at least one Phyrexian Altar where we can sack a Gravecrawler and bring back a Gravecrawler infinitely to make a bunch of very large zombies or sack some zombie tokens to make mana. The original Senpai list had a bunch of altars, but I think this kind of combo-oriented card is a lot better as a one-of in Vintage where you can Vampiric and Demonic for it when it makes sense. All of that is going to go and fit inside of our blue-black Tinker Urza Saga shell. Very normal, Lorien Revealed, Force of Will, broken blue cards, broken Moxen, tutors, same old, same old. Obviously, Geralf plays a little nicely with Bolus of Citadel as well, as does Yogg-Will, so you can do like sack your stuff and then Yogg-Will and sack your stuff again for the 20 in 1 turn combo. As well as, obviously Time Walk is very good with a bunch of army of zombies, as this is a Monastery Mentor Light. I've taken mostly just my blue-black Tinker sideboard from my latest video and put that in the side, though I did put an extra Jailer because I thought it was fun that this was actually a zombie. So you get a little upside there for your Gravecrawler. I'm not sure your Gravecrawler is going to be in post board against a deck that has that you're bringing Jailer in for, and also it doesn't come back if there's a Jailer in play. But minor things. Things of note. Today is Wednesday, which means it's a Magic Online patch day, and which means there's some instability on the platform at the moment. Hopefully we will not run into any games restarting, but there has been reports of games restarting. So hopefully that will not happen today, but I got to make a video because I am playing a paper Vintage tournament this weekend with Modern Horizons 3 proxies legal, which will be very interesting. I'm going to probably do a little write-up on that for my patrons. So if you're interested in hearing about how possibly Vexing Bauble plays into the format, that will be coming up soon. The other thing of note is Magic Online is in the beginning of changing a bunch of card arts and frames on Magic Online. They said there's a big project underway to make things look like the actual Magic cards. And there's also was something that Wizards has recently done to the retro frames that they've changed in Modern Horizons 3. So you have some cards that are going to look a little different than they normally do. You've got the nice classic old text font here with the, I don't know, kind of medieval looking font. And also right now the frame is a little off center. I don't think that's intended for our entire deck to be miscut, but growing pains as we update Magic Online. At least that's what I've been told from the team. So we're going to play this as Through a Vintage League and see how it goes. Thank you again to Sinpai for donating to see this deck played. If you want to see your deck played on the channel, make sure to check out the Patreon link in the description below, where you can find all the information you need to submit a donation deck list. Let's battle. Have you ever wanted to win your own real Black Lotus? The legendary NYSE Vintage Tournament returns this June 22nd on Long Island in New York. 15 proxy, high stakes, paper vintage action with 8 whole pieces of unlimited power as prizes. You are not going to want to miss it. Check out more information in the description below. I hope to see you there. Let's battle. All right, welcome to round 1. We're up against Florida Legacy Club here. We don't have a blue card for our force, but we have a Cabal Therapy. We have a top. I'm down. Maybe we don't die on turn 1. We draw a blue card. We figure out what deck they're on. We can hit them with a nice Therapy. So, see what happens. So they are on Oath, but they didn't play a turn 1 Oath. That's good for us because we didn't have a counter for it. Oh, they do have a turn 1 Ancestral, though. I see. Well, that's not great. I must admit, that is not great. A Gravecrawler is also probably not a good draw for us either. I am baiting a Mental Misstep with that, and then I think we need to Therapy our opponent here. So they didn't have an Oath before, which makes me want to name Show and Tell. Oh, I did not bait the Misstep effectively, it seems. Okay, well, I'm going to hope we don't die. And if we are about to die, we can at least blind draw for a blue card. Our deck is... Oh, gosh. It is... We are about to die. I was hoping they would even... Maybe if they had used this, we could have therapied off the Spirit Token, actually. I was hoping... I don't remember what I was going to say. I think I was going to say our deck is a little short on blue cards. It's at like 21. There were some of the blue Deadly Dispute style card, but I wanted to play Deadly Dispute. I just think it's a little stronger. Oh, wow. Is this going to be Oath with like a Flusterstorm backup? All right, well, I did draw the Force, so that's nice. All right, so it's just Force with Fluster backup. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to try to Volt Key kill our opponent or draw a Tinker or something. It's going to be too hard. But yeah, I mean, if your opponent's Oath deck has Sapphire, Recall, Misstep, Vamp, Fluster, it's going to be hard to win. Sometimes that happens. All right, well, I guess we start by attacking our opponent. And then, do we Therapy now? I feel like we have to Therapy after they Atraxa so that we can pick like their Force out of their hand. So like right now, we're probably just supposed to try to find Tinker. Well, that certainly does that. But it's a little hard to just slam a Vamp. So like if I guess I could just draw with top and slam a Vamp on Tinker right now. And that way I still have a third land anyways. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to... And then next turn I have at least a Therapy to hit the known piece of interaction off the Atraxa. And then maybe we can win with a Citadel. Oh. Okay, so their hand was Counterspell, Ancestral, Misstep, Vamp, Flusterstorm. Okay. Okay, not good. Not good. Not good. Here's an Atraxa. Oh, they hit a Time Walk. Okay, I'm off it. They hit Force of Will, Time Walk, and Besage You. So I did cut the cage from this sideboard, which is a little unfortunate. I'm going to bring in the annul, and I'm going to bring in the long goodbye as a way to kill Oko, which I do feel like is worthwhile. And then I'm going to trim a Grave Crawler and a basic swamp. Okay. Try again. Force, Geralf, Misstep, the Altar. Well, I wouldn't really consider this hand to be good, but do think we're keeping. It's pretty hard to pass this up. All right, I'm gonna play the key. I think it's better to spend my mana that way. And then, obviously, we don't really want to pitch this Geralf if we can help it. There aren't that many mental misstep targets in the Oath deck. But we also have a lot of creatures compared to a normal Tinker deck. Deadly Dispute. It's kind of interesting. We can turn this this Manifold Key into a draw 2. It's gonna be Flash. It's gonna be Mystical Tutor. I'm pretty sure I'm willing to let them put the top card on the top of their library. If it's Ancestral, we got this covered really, really well. And then if it's Tinker or Show and Tell, then we still have some options. But I feel like letting them put the top card on top and let it be Ancestral is pretty good for us. There's like some downside here to going for this. If my opponent has Ancestral and Flusterstorm, we can get doubled up on. But I kind of feel like we're supposed to use our mana efficiently here. So they let it resolve. That's good for us. And now we have lots of options. Even if they resolve an Ancestral here, I'm pretty happy about this Mana Crypt draw. I like this spot a lot. We're going to go Geralf, Mana Crypt Geralf, and then we can therapy them, and then we can therapy them again off of the zombie. Yeah, I like this spot. They only have 3 cards in hand, too. Looks like they're going to go for the Ancestral on my upkeep. I'm going to Mental Misstep. It's my turn to Mental Misstep you. Only fair. We still get a draw step as well. We drew an Ancestral. I can't imagine losing this one, he said. So what could be in my opponent's hand that we would want to therapy away? They could have a Flusterstorm. They could have an Atraxa. They could have an Oko. I think I'm going to start by just naming Fluster. I feel like that's the thing that would hurt me the most in this spot. They had Force of Negation and Show and Tell. Okay, so now I'll therapy again, sacking this zombie rogue. And we'll go get rid of that Force of Negation. So now they only have Show and Tell. And then we'll crack this, and we'll Ancestral ourselves. And then we'll play out all of our Moxen. And we have both a Dress Down and a Force and a huge army. So that went just about perfectly. We did draw a lot of power there. A lot of restricted cards. Yeah, I'll just force this. Long goodbye. All right. Just gonna hold these. This only triggers on the second spell anyways. And this can long goodbye could kill. Like if they show and tell an Atraxa here, I can attack and then long goodbye the thing that Atraxa blocks to win. So that was a very nice display of restricted cards plus Geralf therapy. So that worked out pretty well. I do feel like we got bailed out a little bit by drawing the Mana Crypt, but I really think this card has got to be underplayed, right? Does anyone else think this card is underplayed? This card is always good every time we make a brew, and every time we use this card, doesn't it always feel great? I think I'm going to trim one more Gravecrawler and put that Swamp back in. Just because I don't want to play creatures out against Oath anyways. Yo, what up, not me? Thanks for 58. You play a ton of Pauper, so it feels overplayed. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, this is a Pauper staple, right? I don't know. I just think this card should probably see some more play than it does. I don't know. I haven't really figured out where exactly, but it has Gravecrawler for Cabal Therapy and Phyrexian Altar Engines. It's because it's a Senpai donation deck list. Sand looks fine. It's not great. It does need help, but it's okay. Demonic Tutor is help for sure. I guess, should we play around Spell Pierce or should we play around Mindbreak Trap? Guess, I mean, they could also Flusterstorm us, but I'm not gonna cycle this Lorien Revealed. Feels like it's a nice fallback plan after we cast Demonic Tinker and hope it works. Well, I guess we might need to cycle it to do Demonic Tinker, to be fair. A null. Yeah, I guess I should have cycled it. I kind of like the idea of just passing the turn and next turn tinkering. Maybe we'll draw some extra permission. Is this going to be a Lorien or is it going to be another top deck tutor? Yeah, again, I'm going to let the top deck tutor happen, even though it's a mental misstep target. If my opponent has an Ancestral, if they go for Ancestral again, they get rightly punished. If they go for Oath, they get punished. If they don't go for either of those and they go for something crazier, then obviously we get punished. But I think that's a risk I'm willing to take. Oh, looks bad for me. I mean, if this means they're hard cast negation, then it's actually really good for me, because then my Tinker will resolve. Yeah, okay, this actually worked out really well. Oh, Flusterstorm. How many copies is this? That's unfortunate. I can pay for 3 copies. Alright, well, you got an Oath. Also, Cabal Therapy, sacking a Spirit token would be pretty cool here as well. I Could I have tapped better? It's possible. I think I could have tapped better, and then I would have actually been able to pay for that Flusterstorm. That would have been, that would have definitely been good. So unless our last card is blue card Force, we have a Tinker here for a Citadel. Land drop to give. Lorien down to 11. Mox. Yogwill. I mean, Yogwill is very lethal here, right? Looks pretty good. Do I want to wait a little bit? See if I can't get 10 permanents in play for this Citadel first? I have a key in my deck or no? I do have a key in my deck, so I could always Geralf and then untap Citadel and do it again. But I have this active Brainstorm anyways, so let's just Brainstorm. Let's put the key and the long goodbye on the top. Looks like I have a Force underneath though, so I'm gonna get stuck either way. Unless I like try to force the long goodbye. But I do have a key, so probably is not necessary anymore. I was thinking about like we can long goodbye the spirit token as well. I just have Vault Key, right? I just have Tinker Vault Key, so I should just not even worry about this. Okay. So I just play this and play this. And then I Yogwill and I just Tinker Vault Key and win. I have Force back up technically, so. I guess if I cycle, I don't technically have Force backup anymore. Oh well. Don't think that matters at this point. Tinker this, Crypt away, or Time Vault, and take the W. All right, not bad. Classic Tinker is good. All right, the instant requeue into Tony Scaponi, legendary legacy jewel and other combo deck creator. Streamer battle. You can watch both sides of this one, though I would say just don't say anything in chat. I feel like this hand is a mulligan. If I had a Luris, this hand it gets like a little bit better, right? Because you can buy Luris on turn 1, but I think I'm gonna mulligan. What does this hand do? A whole lot of nothing. It does cast 2 Cabal Therapies on the first 2 turns, but okay, I keep therapy and therapy away, and then try to find a blue source and cast Tinker with Force backup. Not bad, not bad. I don't actually know what Tony is on at the moment. Looks like a Multa 5 so far. We both Multa 5, it's only fair. Yeah, I don't think this is the last change they're making to these cards for what it's worth. I believe Tony said that Wizards has made some changes to the retro frame and Modern Horizons 3, which making things a little bit awkward. And they have some like large image overhaul project going on. So I would suspect this is not the last change you'll see to how cards look. So, but I do think it looks more like an old school Magic card now. So just need to fix a couple things. All right, so we're Saga Gaming. Hopefully our opponent's not on Wasteland. That would be sad. But even if they are, we could always draw an island. Moxjet. Manifold. Okay, looks like Jewel. Tastes like Jewel. Is probably Jewel. Another Urza Saga. All right, well, we're Saga Gaming. They have 2 cards in hand, and we have a Force and a Tinker, so I can't imagine we do anything other than win, but... PO for 2? Or Tinker? Or Metamorph? Or Ring? Tinker. Okay, I will Force, and I will pitch Geralf. This is kind of funny, because the last time I played Tony, he was the one on a donation deck list with Geralf, and I was the one tinkering. I drew another Force. Does that mean I can play this with Force backup? If I just simply float a mana and get a Lotus and crack my Lotus, and then... Okay. I think it does, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we're 1 short. That's unfortunate. My memory is really good at remembering dumb things and really bad at remembering important things, which feels like a personal problem that I should be trying to fix. Magic cards, Magic games, TFT strats, no problem. The person's name who I met last week, forget about it. What I did on a date with Nyx a month ago, no chance. It's frustrating. I feel like, yeah, definitely something I should work. All right, Mindbreak Traps, Hurkyl's Recall, and a Null all coming in versus Jewel. I don't think Hurkyl's Recall is like an end-all be-all card against Jewel, but I think it's good enough that you should play it. Null Rod is in my sideboard specifically for Jewel, and I would be remiss to forget the Needle for the One Ring that we always want to make sure we bring in. So sorry, Grave Crawlers. I feel like this is going to be a continuing thing. I do want to stay true to Senpai and make sure the deck is doing what he set it out to do, but for matchups like Jewel and Dredge that dramatically change the point of the game, a lot of times for these fun brews, you're going to end up taking out a lot of the pieces. So like Dredge and Jewel are famously decks that make matches about themselves. So a lot of times I'm going to have to take out fun cards and put in Soul Guide Lanterns and Dredge Hate and that kind of thing. And the same goes for Jewel. Now, the good news here is I still think Cabal Therapy and Geralf are very good in this matchup. It's just like the extra combo stuff is not necessary. So I'm gonna take out the Swamp, which I don't feel like we need here, and I'm gonna take out the Grave Crawlers and the Altars. I'm gonna keep in all of the therapy combinations and bring in all of our Jewel Hate. So yeah, it should be a really good upcoming weekends. I have 3 tournaments in a row, 2 paper vintage events, and 1 Pauper Creator Showdown. So if you've ever been interested in me playing Pauper, we're going to experience that in the next week, not this weekend, but next weekend. I did the greatest sin according to Not Me, and I left in Mental Misstep against Jewel, but kind of want to up the blue count. I think it's better than the cards I took out, so not much to say there. I do feel like I have to mulligan this hand as it does not have a Force of Will. Something my deck does not have is Force of Negations in it, which is a little awkward. But this hand has Tinker, Emerald. Oh no. This has Tinker, Emerald, Key. I What am I running in Pauper? I don't know, because I don't know what's going to be legal in Pauper. Are they going to let the cranial plating battering ram be legal for my tournament? I don't know. So it's a kind of a big if, a big what if. Is this a keep versus Jewel? Like Tony is not like Jose. Tony is not going to keep Urza Saga do nothing hand. So I kind of want to mull this. I'm going to keep it though. Maybe this mental misstep gets there. I mean, drawing key doesn't even get there. Ooh. That's bad for me, for anyone keeping track at home. The one ring. Yeah, this is why you mulligan to a force. Though, to be... Yeah, a trap would have worked here as well. Yeah. No land. Sweet. All right. We're going to definitely be doing some praying here. There is a downside to casting this Time Vault, in which case my opponent can copy the Time Vault, but not much to do about that. We did, of course, draw our Citadel, which is not good, notably. I don't believe we're going to win this game. However, I did elect to keep the hand, so we have to play it out. A Saga. A Monolith. And a Go. So if we draw a Moxen, technically we do represent lethal here if our opponent does not have a force. That is not a Moxen. So normally I would just cast Tinker for Citadel. But I can't do that. All right, well, I feel like we're supposed to cast Tinker anyways and just hope it works. Okay, opponent had a force anyways, so I think it's likely we were never winning this game. Yep, that is why we call it Geralf of the questionable name. Okay, I mean, this is on me. I mean, it's possible my opponent had turn one ring with force backup. That's also possible. Because they didn't have any land drop, so it's probably what they had in hand was force plus blue card. So maybe there wasn't a lot of chances to win this game anyways. But I do think it was kind of a mulligan situation that I chose not to mulligan, and at this point got punished for. So I do believe that people give up a lot of equity in the Jewel Shops matchup by mulliganing incorrectly or not aggressively enough. I would say that is probably one of the ways I think Jewel actually gets a high win percentage that it has, is that people are probably not adjusting their play patterns enough. This was the kind of thing we saw very early on when mono white initiative was a big force in the metagame. People had to adjust how they use their counter magic, and I think that's similar to people need to adjust to keeping hands against Jewel as a force of will type. I got a little distracted there because there's a lot of drama happening on Twitter right now. I mean, this is always true, but it's true especially right now. Because there's a challenge happening right now, and there's currently a bug on Magic Online where games are restarting, and there are two players yelling at each other saying they're both taking advantage of bugs. So thankfully, we're not playing a challenge. We're just playing a nice little league here. Oh, I like this hand. Oh, I like this hand a lot, chat. This hand is spicy. This hand is... Oh, wait, this is not a Mana Crypt. I like this hand a lot less. I thought we had a Mana Crypt so we could go turn one Geralf into double therapy and stuff. But this is fine. We're going to go Underground Sea, hold up a null. It's okay. Hand's still good. It's just not a Mana Crypt good. Oh, man. All right, Saga Gaming. We got that covered as well. Someone finally played a 1-drop after I had 2 games of mental misstep. Mox Opal. Uh-huh. All right. All right, chat. What are you naming with Cabal Therapy? Now that's a question here. That is a question here. The One Ring. I feel like the One Ring is the one I would name the most here. The One Ring. Boom. Man, sometimes I feel so good at this game. Cabal Therapy is a great vibes card. You do love to see it. You do love it. All right, 2 rings down. I think another reasonable name there is actually Force of Will, because we do have an annul to cover the 1 ring, but if my opponent hits a land here and wants to play a Grim Monolith, I'm going to snap off an annul on it. They did hit the land, and here's the Monolith, and I'm just going to snap off an annul on that. All right, so now a question becomes, do we vamp? I think we vamp for an Ancestral, right? We can vamp for a Null Rod. My opponent is going to get to Jewel Mana here, though. So maybe I made a mistake in annulling that. Could have just, like, waited. But, like, this takes them off of everything until Jewel comes. Yeah. Damn, I think I made a mistake. I wanted to... I wanted to get a Null Rod, but I couldn't get a Null Rod. Maybe I was just supposed to let... I mean, I have a Hercules... I just feel like vamping for Force is so bad. Especially because my opponent has, like, 2 hits right now. Does Hercules actually buy a turn? I guess maybe I could Hercules an upkeep to turn on Mindbreak Trap. I feel like I'm going to just natural draw. Who vamps anyways? Okay, so there's a question of, do I Hercules recall my opponent now? Nope. All right, so we got to be careful here with our sequencing. But I'm looking to... Okay, that makes sense. Oh, they're going straight for Jewel. Oh, wait, so my trap won't even be turned on. I see. I see. Wait a second, what is this? Oh, this transmute can become a coveted Jewel. Ah, and then they can play Jewel. Ah, I see. I see. Okay. I guess that's fine then. Cool play. But I have Trap and Force, so don't think it matters too much. This is a different version of Jewel that Tony made. All right, so they're gonna pay for a Jewel, and they're gonna draw 3. The question then becomes, do I want to just vamp now? No. So now I should have... I guess they need 1 more spell before Trap is turned on. They drew Academy. That's not good. That also ruins my freaking Null Rod plan. That's so bad for me. Why is it always Academy? It's always Academy, man. I have a whole video on Modern Horizons 3. You can go watch it. Ah. Yeah, I mean, this could have been prevented. This could have absolutely been prevented. PL with 1 floating. I think my plan was really good if my opponent didn't draw Tolarian Academy, because if I'm just like stopping my opponent at some point during this and vamping and untapping and playing a Null Rod, I just win the game against every single thing that's not Tolarian Academy. But Tolarian Academy makes this a lot harder. Like, I still think I'm vamping for Null Rod, but I'm just like I'm in an infinitely worse position because they have access to mana here. And it was a choice I actively made. I still am not sure that my choice was bad, but it did get punished. They had forced backup here with PO. Interesting. I guess I can turn off the Academy by Herculesing them later. So I think it's better for me to pitch the Geralf because I don't have the mana to play it. If I had the mana to play it, the Geralf might actually be better because I can steal the jewels. But I think I'd like to just be able to bounce these cards back to their hand, maybe, in like a response to a PO or something. I don't know. I mean, it's really bad spot because my opponent drew Academy. That's what I'm trying to say. But it's still a winnable spot because Null Rod does just hurt Jewel that badly, so. This is a Metamorph as another Jewel. Kind of want to draw a Gravecrawler. I drew a Yogwill. I see. I don't think it does very much. Registering Academy confirm good. No one could have seen this coming. Not I. Not I. Yeah, Saga Gaming. 6 cards in my opponent's hand. Gonna hold this Hercules to try to hit the stupid Saga tokens if it can. Unfortunately, that does probably eliminate my plan of stealing these jewels. I think we're just going to lose this game, unfortunately. My choice of counters did not pay off. Though I do really like the way my opponent played it, where they were going to play Transmute, and if I countered Transmute, they would still be able to play Jewel. That was pretty sweet. They have like 100 blue mana. I don't even have a Strip Mine in my deck, so I can't even like stop this Academy really. And they're gonna have Force backup more than likely when I finally do cast circles, so. Yeah. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Certainly turns on trap earlier. I'm gonna be honest. I just felt like after they spent 7 mana on their first jewel, they would brick. I think most situations there, like I have two different pieces of counter magic, right? And they're going down to 4 mana in play with jewel. Like I just think it's gonna brick more often than not. And it just so happened that like they hit Academy, so it didn't brick. It's not. They don't need another Otawara. They just need to have force protection for Saga tokens. So I don't feel that my plan. I don't feel that my plan was bad, but I do feel like my plan was exploited and punished. um, and even if they had hit like workshop and like we eventually cut them off, if we null rod them, they just like they can't do anything if they don't have Academy, right? So. And now the problem is if they do anything that casts like a PO, even if I Hercules them, they're just gonna get like a bunch of more draw spells too. So it's yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've been bested. I've been bested. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure that my plan was bad. My plan definitely didn't work. All right, on to round 3. We're up against kinda known brewer. This could be a bit of an aggressive keep against them, considering they probably have a lot of ways to beat Saga in their deck, but I'm willing. Black Lotus. Seems good. Tropical Island. Is it going to be a Warhammer 40k card? Black mana. Grief. Uh, sure. You got a grief. Don't feel like I want to pitch a Lorien here. So I don't feel like I need to pitch a force cat. I don't feel like I want to pitch a Lorien here, so I'm not going to force this. And they're likely just going to take the force anyways. Do I care about a 3/2 menace? I don't believe I care about a 3/2 menace, so I wouldn't be unhappy with anyone who wanted to force this grief. But I'm gonna try not forcing it. Ooh, they took the Cataxian probe. Wait, so now I have another force? So I have force and I still have all my mana? Okay. Big. Underground Sea. I feel like I'm gonna play that first because getting this Gravecrawler in play lets me Deadly Dispute, which looks good. Cataxian Probe. Well, you just saw my hand, so you know my whole hand. Cantrip. Woo! Whoa! Bazaar of Baghdad. Okay. We're cooking. We are absolutely cooking. If it was kinda and he wasn't cooking, I would be concerned. So it's good that the chef is still in the kitchen. Now, what are we doing with Bazaar? That is the real question here. And what are we doing with Bazaar? Oh, oh, okay. We're gonna cast Cabal Therapy and bring back Poxwalkers, huh? Yeah. And we have a hollow one? Oh no. This looks bad. Yo, what's up, Charlotte? So my opponent's got one of those. Oh, they're not going to therapy, the grief? Bringing back Poxwalkers and taking my Deadly Dispute? That's kind of interesting. I feel like I would have done that. Like, the grief as a body doesn't really matter. You're bringing back a Poxwalkers. All right, so they have an active Faithless Looting Bazaar right now with one master. Looks kind of like the deck I played on this channel a while ago. There was a video I made, I believe I called it, Why Doesn't Bazaar Control Exist? It's kind of what it looks like here. Blue Hogak. Oh, they kept the grief in play because they want to get a Hogak. I see. Second Bazaar, interesting. And played out, also interesting. I mean, I'm not really beating a Hogak. So maybe this is just, maybe it's, I don't know. Poxwalker is number 2. So now they can hit my Lorien revealed and put 2 Poxwalkers in play. They enter tapped, so next turn they can get a Hogak. Okay, what am I missing, chat? What am I missing? Why is my opponent not casting Cabal Therapy? I don't understand. That's a lot of grave crawlers. Should I be going Vault Key here? Kind of looks like it. But I could just play a land and tinker this into a Citadel right now. I can't make multiple blockers. 13 life to give. If I hit a Geralf, it's pretty good. If I hit a land, it's pretty bad. Well, I just don't think 13 life with no land drop is a good number. My opponent could have vines as well, I guess. Like, they're never going to name Tinker on this therapy anyways. Also, it's only 12 life to work with because I have to fetch. Yeah, I'm going to hold it for a Vault Key next turn. That's what I'm going to do. I still don't really understand why my opponent didn't want to put 2 Poxwalkers in play and take my Lorien revealed, but... I guess I do need a land to guarantee Vault Key, right? So I have to use this Lorien revealed and not make a walker. Sorry, not make a thing. So they have Demonic Tutor. So now they're casting Therapy. Did they even attack? They didn't even attack, right? Oh, that's true. I can nigger away the construct. Yeah, that would be enough. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Oh, is that Four Seasons vintage champion? Raffaele Arama. You're gonna have to update your Four Seasons command. Get the next date in there. Hi, Mark. Force of Will. Okay. They're not activating their Bazaar. Does that mean they like drew force blue card or something? I don't really know what's going on, which is pretty much par for the course versus opponent. What? Oh, he's saying what to the grave crawl? He was in the stream. I don't understand. Oh, it looks like an accidental F6. I see. Well, yeah, that's bad for you. I'm going to get a key. And then I'm going to tinker. Around days, I guess. And spell pierce. Okay. I believe I have one. Bro, just take the W. Play the broken control deck and just take your W. The complaining never ends with this guy. Classic Rama. All right, what am I playing against? Some kind of Bazaar deck? Some kind of blue Bazaar deck, maybe? It's a little unclear what's exactly happening here, but I'm going to bring in all of the stuff. All of the things. I feel like this is not a force matchup. Force seems pretty bad here. Citadel seems pretty bad here. I actually kind of like the weird donation combo here, because making a bunch of tokens actually would be good. Dress down doesn't seem necessary. Mental misstep. Probably don't need mental misstep. Probably don't need probe. All right, let's try this. Don't exactly know if it will end up being good, though I guess, is therapy even good here? I don't know. It's tough because I don't know what's in my opponent's deck. Aha. Portal to Phyrexia. Black card, no black mana. Yep. Yep. Okay. I feel like this is a keep, though. It's a good multi-5. I mean, my opponent's deck probably has Force of Vigor, right? Maybe we can't keep. Let's mulligan. Oh, this hand's really good. This hand's extremely good. All right. I like this. Master of Death, Fatal Push, double hollow one, Yavimaya. All right, well, let's see what this needle gets us here. Bazaar of Baghdad. And also kill your 2 hollow ones for free. No vigor. Master of Death back to hand. Okay. Oh, I did forget that Kinda had said in chat he had a positive record with a Bazaar deck for the first time. I didn't even think about that. Misty Rainforest, Fatal Push, Yavimaya. Very interesting. Urza's Saga. What's the percentage chance I play an Urza's Saga here and I get Force of Vigor? Whoop. Guess it wasn't happening. Probe. Strip Mine. Are they going to hit Saga or Tabernacle? Ah, Saga down. Time Vault. Okay, I will play out a Grave Crawler. I don't know. They're both 2/1s. Notably, if I have a Jailer in play, I can't actually bring back Gravecrawler. Mana Crypt. All right. Zombie Tribal. You gotta love it. Classic Bazaar of Baghdad Gaming here. Another land. I guess it doesn't hurt too much to just deploy this Time Vault, right? I'm gonna hold it. Just in case they vigor me, I would rather not lose it. Uh-oh. Is it oof, there it is? Bayou Tropical, huh? So it is Hogak. Oh, it's a Hermit Druid. Oh. Oh. Am I dead? No, I have a Jailer in play. That's fun. It's Hermit Druid Hogak. That's cute. I like it. I'm gonna still attack. Don't think I'm willing to trade the Jailer for the Hermit Druid. Yeah, I mean, they could definitely have a blue land and an Oracle in hand. That's true. Though they would need to pay for their I guess they don't need to pay. Yeah, they do need to pay for their Hermit Druid, so they need to have an additional mana after that. Though, like, can this deck afford to play multiple blue lands? It probably plays a couple, but I can't imagine it plays very many. All right, pay for my zombies. Hey, more zombies. This is lethal, right? Next turn, because I'm going to go play all my cards here. Blue, blue, blue. Geralf. Mana Crypt, trigger, make a zombie. And then Time Vault, trigger, make a zombie. And then I still have enough mana to pay for them all. And that's 6 damage. Yep. Yup. And it's a win it. I think he has it in hand because he said I need a Lotus to win. So I assume that means there's a Oracle in hand. Oh, found the tropical island. Does Oracle save them here? I don't believe it does. So they close. That's crazy. Ooh, man, classic kinda deck right there. All right, we're on to round 4. I have a classic vintage hand of Gravecrawler, Vampiric Tutor, Therapy, Deadly Dispute, Yogwill. I'll do them all again. Oh, this one's good. Keep this one. I'm gonna get rid of this Swamp. Let's see what our opponent's got for us. See what our opponent has for us here. Uh-oh. It's Bazaar again. Thug, Bridge, Hollow One. Okay. Ruby. That's interesting. So how do we win this game? Tinker. So let's do... We don't have enough blue lands, though. I kind of want to therapy off Force of Will, too. If we had another blue land, we could do Time Walk Tinker. We probably will still end up being able to do Tinker. At the very least, we should go see Ruby, Soul Ring, Time Walk, right? Maybe? I guess this runs into Mental Misstep a little bit, but probably better for us if this Soul Ring got Mental Misstep than our other cards, right? Like, obviously, I can't Mystical on my upkeep here, but what I can do is play Saga and... Oh, wait, does that change it? No, it doesn't change it. It does give us rebuys, though. Don't know if they're good. I was like looking for some way to maybe like, if we draw a land here that's not a Saga, we could therapy our opponent's Force of Will and then Mystical for a Tinker and go for a Tinker from 16. Maybe that's not the right angle to go about this. I do kind of like the idea of just deadly disputing this Ruby and seeing if we draw anything that's worthwhile. Ancestral Demonic. They paused for a long time on that, which makes me feel like they have the Force. But what am I really going to do about it? If I Mystical for Tinker and don't draw, if I Mystical for... If I Demonic for Lotus and then go Mystical for Tinker and Ancestral. So 1 mana floating, Demonic for Lotus, Lotus, and Mystical down to 3 mana, Ancestral, and then I could still Tinker after. And if they counter anywhere along that, then we still draw Tinker on the next turn. I'm down. I guess if they force Demonic, that is a lot worse for me. So I had the correct read that they had a force. Maybe I should have just cast Cabal Therapy, but that feels like it's hard to do. See how the rest of this game plays out. I really wish this Saga was not a Saga and it was a Underground Sea, because then we would have been able to do whatever we wanted. But of course, we have a Saga. I feel like these are the kind of moments where people don't talk about the downsides of Saga being in your deck. Oh my god, we're gonna put another Bazaar on top. Okay, so they're just gonna turbo Dredge here. So we're free to game. I do think it's possible we still win this, but this is actually the point where we are punished for time walking. If we had held time walk, we could time walk through our Saga. No, I guess we wouldn't have had the Saga up and running, right? Well, I guess we could have just gone turn 1 Saga Soul Ring Mox, but then our time walk would have get forced, so that doesn't really help. Oh my gosh. Are these are Future Sight Narcomoebas? How lucky am I that I haven't played versus a Dredge player with Future Sight Narcomoebas since this bug started happening? I don't even have any ability to fix this. I can play the rest of my match out on my laptop. That's the only thing I can really do from here. They really need to fix this. All right, I am streaming my laptop to my computer now, which is definitely extremely silly, but that's what we're doing. So, all right, I'm F6. Oh, can I close this thing? Hide, minimize. Okay. I have never done this is in the history of a stream. I have never done this exactly, but it is what we've got going on. Okay, so my opponent went for what did they even go for? They went for Tinker, and I didn't have Tinker. They've got a lot of dredgers. I don't think I'm supposed to mystical. Wait, was I supposed to mystical? So no matter what I do resolves. Am I dead on the next turn? 4, 5, 10. How many Icarids do they have? 1. And they have chills, so I am probably dead on the next turn. So I guess I needed to... I mean, I couldn't mystical on my upkeep. I guess I just have to cast Ancestral, right? And hope to hit something. I hit Key. Well, that doesn't do anything, right? I can at least make a construct and block, but is that actually good? It's probably not enough. They probably just make 2... Like, as long as they deal an extra couple damage, it's fine. So they have to hit 1 Creeping Chill, and then I need to be able to block and save 4... I guess, like, theoretically, if they just, like, miss on Creeping Chills, we might be able to Tinker for a Time Vault. Because this is 13 damage right now. So if they miss on this last Dredge... They missed. Oh wait, if they hit another therapy though, they take my mystical tutor. Was there anything I could have done about that? I don't think so. Oh wait, I can still mystical tutor. So that's fine. I have it. Tinker. I just can't crack my fetch. So that's fine. Wait, so do I win this game? That's kind of surprising. I feel like that means we got very lucky. Oh, I can actually make a construct, right? So I just get a Black Lotus here. I hope they won't make me play it out. Because I feel like this is going to take me a substantial amount of time. I am currently trackpad gaming. I could move to my mouse, but then I lose my mouse on my other computer. I actually have another mouse right here. Let me take this mouse. Maybe? Ah. All right, who believes in me? Oh man. This stream is a comedy. Okay, I have one game one. I am going to play a needle, a lantern, a tabernacle, a sphinx, and 2 jailers for game 2. I'm going to take out all of this. It's all bad. I can't take out that much. I guess I will bring in a dismember, and I guess I will keep the altar. I mean, I'm not keeping the altar. I guess I will keep 2 therapies. I guess I'll keep a snuff out. Probably, I don't know. Close enough. How's the quality, chat? Is it like, it seems pretty okay. Hang up on Discord? Am I not hung up on Discord? Oh, I closed the DM. That's not hanging up. Oh, I feel like I'm sharing just the window. I feel like I'm not in a call on Discord, but what do I know? The fact that this is working is a little silly, but we take those. Okay, I need to play faster. I mean, I don't have any Dredge hate, but I feel like it's a keep, right? Is it, this might not be. I mean, I have no Dredge hate, but like, is this like good enough? I just lead with Ancestral and then play 1 Moxen and Lorien revealed. Let me just they only have 1 card in it left, so I'm just going to cast Ancestral here. Demonic. Wait, I thought I boarded out Citadel. Did I not board out Citadel? Huh. Okay. Oh, I played one too many one too many mocks in there. So they have one Dredger, one Icarid. One Dredger, one Icarid. Well, I'm not going to have very much health, so I don't think we're going to play Hardcast Citadel. Oh, my opponent... Okay, so my opponent should probably have activated Bazaar on upkeep and dredged, unless they have a second Bazaar in their hand. If they have a second Bazaar in their hand already, then that makes a lot of sense. You can play second Bazaar and then dredge through your deck. I guess I should just cycle one of these. I wish I hadn't played all my Moxen out, because then I could have held it better, but I don't actually think we're going Geralf next turn. I think we're going to go... just Tinker for a Sphinx, probably. Or even just, like, Demonic for a Tabernacle. Oh, interesting. So they did have... Okay. Oh, they had two Bazaars. Okay, cool. Lantern, Chill, Narcomoeba. I'm not actually sure if Sphinx wins here. I kind of need two things, don't I? I need to stop their yard and beat their board. I have Demonic, Tinker, Sphinx. Demonic, Tabernacle. How many Icarids? Two Icarids and two Chills. Well, can I do Demonic, Tabernacle, and Geralf? No. Can't do that. I could do Geralf, I mean, it's just got to be Demonic, right? I have 9 life, so I could go Demonic Citadel. I might just have to, right? Like, what else am I doing here? I can Tinker for a Sphinx, but I'm losing on board, aren't I? I block, and I go to 15, and I take 4, 7, 10, 16. It's lost on board. Okay. Okay, I lose. Oh, man. I have very little time. So can I take out Citadel here? Not really. Yeah, sure. Time Walk was better. Sorry, Sokka was a better land to play there, for sure. I wish I had more cards to bring in, but I don't really feel like I do. We had a lot of really good answers there, but they were all too slow. I think the biggest problem in that game was just the fact that they had two Bazaars. If they didn't have a second Bazaar, they would have been a lot slower, and we probably would have had time to just go like Demonic Tinker for a Sphinx there, and then try to find something else to follow up with. But yeah, The second Bazaar was just basically a full turn increase in clock, which was too much to come back from. Kind of a crazy game, actually. It's possible my hand should have been a mulligan anyways. I just kind of thought with triple Mox and Ancestral that I got a lot of good things to play there. It seemed reasonable enough. Oh god, I still have a dress down in my deck too. I feel like I have nowhere close to enough cards to bring in and take out. And I still brought in like 2 jailers, 2 graveyard artifacts, a tinker target. All right, 3 minutes. I have okay. Okay. We're doing it live. Time Walk, looking for a land drop. Will Therapy, and we'll name Force of Will. Ooh, we hit a land drop. No! I'm struggling. I got Force of Will, but they still have Force of Negation. That's so unfortunate. Maybe I'll draw Force on my next turn. Damn, that's unfortunate. It's actually worse for me that they have Negation. But they might not negate this anyways, right? Like, it's just a Time Vault. Nope, it's gone. Okay. I think that means we lose. Should I have named Negation instead of Will? Doesn't really feel like I should have, right? Geralf. Lotus. I think cracking this Lotus cuts me out of some things, but I also want to maximize my zombies here. So I'm not 100% sure this is the correct play, but because they do have a strip mine. They don't mind break trap. That's funny. Okay. Wait, this thing only makes a 3/3? Shouldn't this be a 4/4? What do I? Is this bugged? Am I crazy? Am I reading it wrong? What am I missing here? What did they just powder? Sorry, what did they just Noxious? They just Noxious a second Bazaar? But it doesn't, it's not about control. It's about each other zombie that entered the battlefield this turn. It's definitely bugged. Oh, so they just went double Bazaar again. Wait, how did they get a Noxious revival, chat? Didn't we just look at their hand and there was no Noxious revival? What is going on? I'm so confused. Where did the Nox? Did they just natural draw a Noxious revival? That helps a lot. going to be a close one. I'm pretty sure that zombie was supposed to be one bigger. This is just a Narcomoeba. I don't have to crack Lantern yet. By being able to eat the Ichor with the Soul Guide Lantern, I should be able to crack this at a more opportune time. We'll see, though. They also have 2 Bazaars, so they can respond to my activation with an activation, if that's what they want to do. Not 100% clear if that will be the case. This hit a Creeping Chill. But just a Creeping Chill, so I think that's fine. Oh, this is still in their draw step. Okay. I guess they did hit a Grave Troll, so if they activate, it's like a little worse. But if they just like don't activate, pretty sure it's still good for us. I'm back on the trackpad for some reason. Oh, this is crazy. All right, they're gonna not activate. Are they gonna swing in the air? Can't imagine they're gonna swing in the air. They are going to swing in the air. Huh. Can I make one of these unblockable? I could, but is it enough? 3, 6, 9, 11, 13 plus unblockable. It's not enough. Lorien revealed. Oh, I guess I have to play out the mana crit. Oh, I mean, I might just not have enough time here, to be perfectly honest. Well, this Jixid Jailer would have been very good in play. Mox would be good. Misstep. I'm gonna have to F3, wait for an activation, and then I might just not make it. Maybe I should have just cleared the whole yard. Because now I'm just gonna get like double Creeping Shield and die, right? Yeah, because now I have to hit this chill. And then, how many more chills do they have? I can't really tell. Oh, they only have 1 more chill. So this is fine. I think we win then, right? Oh, I guess we have to survive a flip. No, we don't even have to survive a flip. I'm at 5. I think this is just a win. I have to 36 seconds to attack and flip a mana crypt here. They have 14 cards left. I don't think they can stop me. Oh, that's a Grave Troll. That's the other Creeping Chill. I go to 5. I go to 3. Oh, no. It's a crypt flip to win. Because I'm going to 3. Oh, they didn't attack, though. They needed to attack. Attacking puts me to 3, and I can lose on... I didn't lose on my crypt flip, but it's fine. Oh, do they survive this attack? I have to play a Jailer then. No. Oh, my lord. Crazy. Oh boy, that was one of the weirdest games I've ever played on or streamed on Magic Online, just in general. I can't believe we just zoomed into ourselves to watch ourselves play on a laptop while sitting here. Magic Online, please fix this bug. Okay, here we are, 5th and final round of our Geralf League. We are doing very well. These experimental Tinker decks typically are very playable. We were almost beat Tony as well, so we almost were 4-0 in this league. This hand does not have a blue card for Force, but I think I'm going to keep it. It has a lot of nice things going on. We're looking towards can we not play Bazaar in a league where I'm trying to make content? Could we just play? I'm sorry, chat. I feel like when I do a Wednesday night stream, there's always a ton of Bazaar. Oh no, Narcomoeba. Oh, thank gosh, my opponent does not have Future Sight Narcomoebas. Well, we don't know that yet. At least one of their Narcomoebas is not Future Sight. Double Grief. Okay. So you're going to take Vamp and Time Vault, I guess? And then it leaves me with nothing? Oh, they changed the text and they changed the color. Wow, that is a Dredge hand if I've ever seen one. So only one Dredger, but they had Bazaar, Double Grief, Hollow One. I think that's notably bad for me. Oh, there's a problem with the outside frame. It looks like a miscut because it's not lined up in the center correctly. They hit a bunch of Dredgers there, so I believe we're dead. Oh, thank gosh. Another Narcomoeba that's not Future Sight. It's interesting. They have a lot of old frame cards, but not the Narcomoebas. I think it will look good once they center it. Yeah, opponent's not out to get us. I still don't believe this game is lost, per se, but it's getting very close to lost. We're running out of time. They hit Golgari Grave Troll as well, which is not going to help. This goes to 13. This goes to 10. This goes to 2. This goes to 1. So I'm not exactly sure how we're winning this game. But yeah. Oh, I went to 2. Okay, 2 is better than 1. Should I fetch? Sure. Okay, I died. All right. Unfortunately, another game where we have to bend to the will of our Dredge opponent. This time we were not able to steal the round 1. We're going to have to just bring in all the cards that we brought in last time. Tabernacle, Needle, Sphinx, Snuff Out, Dismember, Jailer, and then we have way too many cards to take out. But at the very least, I don't think Gravecrawler is very good. I don't really particularly think Cabal Therapy is very good either. But I guess we will be keeping in Force, so I guess we'll just cut the therapies and the grave crawlers, and we'll go like that instead. I believe I cut the forces last time, but maybe I didn't cut the forces last time. I don't know. Force is like not particularly good against my opponent's deck. Not many of these cards are good against my opponent's deck. Oh, I just left an altar in. Yeah. Oh well. All right. So this hand has no interaction again, but it has Tinker. It's probably just not good enough. This hand has Tinker on turn 1, so I'm gonna keep that. Actually, maybe, is there any world where it's Geralf on turn 1 and then Tinker? Probably not. I'm going Citadel, right? Because they could theoretically go wider than Sphinx, whereas I'm on turn 1. Citadel should be good. All right, well, I got negated, so that would not have gotten Geralf anyways. I guess we just lose then? That's kind of unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, we're very dead, right? Not much we can do about it. Okay, okay, all right. Don't never say never. They have 2 dredgers in their yard here. They've got an imp and a shell and an Icarid. Oh, they have vigor and stuff? Jesus. Okay. All right, opponent. Okay. All right. Classic dredge. Classic dredge hand. Normal dredge gaming. After how well last round went versus dredge, you have to expect to get some retribution. A brutal showing. I'm not really sure what we can even draw to. Ancestral is the start. Brought in Sickening Shoal. Alright, well, I will play Geralf. I don't have any spells to follow up my Geralf with, but Ancestral would be the one. I guess Yogwill is pretty good too. Yogwill, Mana Crypt Needle, get 2 zombies. It's probably not enough. Just a really strong hand that it's going to be very hard to beat. I felt like for a while we were not getting dredge matches in our leagues, which was very nice. But dredge has kind of propped itself back up in the metagame. It's one of the most played decks right now. Oh, I mean, I love playing against Brian. Playing against Brian produces epic content. No one makes decks like Brian does. Dress down. Dress down, not exactly a combination with Geralf here. If I dress down my opponent and I stop their Icarid, do I survive? Not really. So I guess we're just dress downing and hoping we hit a Ancestral. Okay, I've been bested. Those were not close games. But yeah. So this was a fun little experiment. Thank you to Senpai for sending it in. I'm sorry that we did not get to do anything with Gravecrawler and Altar. I cut down on the number of altars we had, but I don't even think we had a single time in the entire league where we had 2 Gravecrawlers either. It just like so happened like the matches we played against were really unfun for the fun part of our deck. Playing against 3 Bazaar decks and 1 Jewel deck is just a little unfortunate for content production. That being said, a Senpai deck did go 3-2. And I must say that Geralf plus Cabal Therapy did seem very strong. As did Deadly Dispute, actually. So this is probably a card that right now it's seeing basically no play. I don't know if no play is how much play this card should see. I really do think that a Monastery Mentor style card that pitches to Force of Will has some game in Vintage. Obviously, its clauses here are really restrictive. Only being on your turn and only being on your second spell and onward. It just makes this card really, really annoying. Yeah. So if you have a Gravecrawler and a Geralf, or like two grave, whatever. If you have a Gravecrawler and a Geralf, then you can make infinite creatures, which is not really ever necessary, is the problem. There's very few times where you need to make infinite creatures with this for it to not be lethal, right? The one time we did have this like super going and in play, we just immediately made 20 power and killed our opponent. So that's a reason that you don't really want to like all in and index on like combos that make a bunch of zombies. A combo that would be like more interesting to me is something like reducing the cost of Sensei's Top and then looping 2 tops, because at least that is going to be good on its own. Like the cost reduction, the cost reducer is typically not good on its own, so that would be why you wouldn't want to do that. But yeah, I mean the Tinker Shell is clearly still strong. Tinkering for Citadel is clearly still good. I do think that Geralf making 20 power is not a bad thing. It can be a little difficult in this current build to do that. It's possible that you can just play these therapies by themselves, right? So if you just take out these Gravecrawlers and this altar, and then you play 4 Paradoxical Outcomes and a Mana Vault, which is pretty similar to the deck that we played. Mana. Oh, it also makes infinite mana. Oh, you're right. That's how little we had it in play, right? Though I don't know what infinite mana is like really getting you in our other deck. I guess if you have like a leftover Lorien revealed, maybe you can draw through. But I guess like infinite mana is only good if you have a way to find like the time walk, right? I don't know. This is like not dissimilar from the original Geralf list we tested. Sure, you can play Academy. Probably should play Academy. The Academy was like a little worse in the first version because you were trying to cast Gravecrawlers, right? But obviously in this version you play Academy. But like maybe like Therapy and Geralf are just like a good enough combo on your own. I certainly think that discard is okay right now, and that if you're good at naming on Therapy, the card seems pretty reasonable. Like we were able to deduce what we wanted to Therapy in multiple instances during the league, and we were able to hit like double One Ring, and we were able to hit Force of Will. I don't feel like it's too hard to play a Therapy right now. It's just like so happens that most of the token makers are not super strong in Vintage. One of the big reasons why that is the case is because of Manifold Key. Manifold Key making Urza's Saga constructs unblockable is very, very bad for the format. I think that Urza's constructs would be a lot less threatening. They're not even like super threatening as it is, right? But they would be a lot less threatening if you could chump block them instead of having them always be unblockable. I really wish that Manifold Key didn't exist, so that people had to play Voltaic Key, and then in that case you could play things that make tokens. I'm thinking things like Young Pyromancer, Sedgemoor Witch, etc., etc. Obviously, some of those are not still wouldn't be good in today's Vintage, but Mentor and Geralf and those token makers would be a lot better if you could actually chump construct tokens efficiently. So, anyways, if you want to see your deck list played on this channel, make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description below, where you can find all the information you need to submit a donation deck list. Thank you to Senpai again, and if you want to see more Vintage content like this one, check out my YouTube channel, where there will be new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I will see you then.